through the week. This is what we usually do. We go through the past week of everything that we haven't talked about since our last show. In our last show, we talked about Dynamite from last week. So WWE had Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the men's ladder match, which Damian Priest won, which was me and you and Robert's prediction. Kind of predictable. Kind of a good choice. It's not bad. He's got that thing with Finn Balor and Judgment Day where it's a little bit of a power struggle. They both want to be champion. But the real story at the Money in the Bank was LA Knight. Because he keeps getting these ridiculous huge pops, and people want to push him over so bad. But I have a question for you, Vlad, and this is a tough question for you, Vlad, and this is a tough question. If you need take a second to think about it. But we're at the point where we have to ask ourselves, well, not we, but WWE, the brass, they have to look into this seriously. Does LA Knight have potential to be a megastar? A megastar, a main eventer at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I mean, I think he does, based on what I see. He's he's charismatic. He's good on the mic. He's a good worker. So check boxes. He fills all the check boxes. Now, some are saying, "Oh, well, he's older or whatever have you." But so what? So what that he's a little bit older? He's not even that old. I mean, in wrestling terms, he looks great. He's in great physical shape. He cuts great promos, and the most important thing, the crowd goes crazy when he's on. When he's in the ring, when he comes on, when his music plays, they go crazy for his catchphrases. Yeah. Well, I can't even do the yeah correctly, but yeah.
I love his theme song, dude. His theme song is so cool. I'd be listening to that in the car. Well, okay. Well, the reason I asked it like that,
I say yes, he could be, because why not? Just go with, if somebody's hot, you should take advantage of it, especially if a guy can work and he's reliable, and this guy seems like he's reliable, and he'd be a good spokesman for their company, like if they ever wanted to push him to the moon. But it doesn't seem like they actually do, but I'm saying they should, based on the reaction that he's getting.
You're saying they should always push the guy that the fans are going crazy for.
To an extent, yes, they should. I mean, especially if they're reliable, they can work, they can talk, they're not crazy, they're not insane. They're guys that they push that are, in the past, let's say in wrestling history, that are unpredictable, they're not reliable, they're drugged up, they're roided up, they're on whatever. I don't think this guy has that problem. I mean, I don't think anybody in wrestling currently has that problem. So I think, yeah, why not? Why not? Why not push him? I don't see any reason why you shouldn't. I mean, maybe not right away to the championship, but maybe eventually. Can he at least take Seth Rollins' title?
I was going to say at least an Intercontinental title or something like that.
Okay, start with the Intercontinental. But I'm just saying, couldn't the goal for now be to at least be the Raw champion, I guess? Even though I think he's on SmackDown, but whatever. They need to do away with that silly stuff, Raw, SmackDown draft, whatever.
Yeah, I know that's the only thing that's kind of keeping AEW in the game right now, because otherwise it would be a total domination by WWE, excuse me. But
yeah.
I don't necessarily have an answer to that question, of LA Knight becoming a true
star. I know you're a fan of his, right?
I am a fan of his, but I started thinking about it today, because I started thinking, the fans are going nuts for him, but what has he really done to prove to us that he could carry a match, a big time match? Maybe they just don't think he could really do that. I don't know, so.
I mean, from the work I've seen him do, he's had pretty good matches. Now, as far as big matches, I mean, he hasn't been in that many big matches. Is the problem, but I'm sure he'll do fine. I think he's a pretty reliable worker. He can work. From what I've seen, he can work. So
yeah, well, he had his fingertips on that briefcase, even almost clipped it open, and before he got pushed off by somebody. So that was cool. But I have this feeling, because I saw a tape of him at the house show they did after Money in the Bank, and they let him cut a promo, and he was starting to turn on the fans. He was like, I don't need anybody. I've done this all on my own. I don't even need you guys. And the fans kind of groaned. It was like, whoa. I was like, okay, I don't know. I don't know about turning on the fans like that, even as a heel. So maybe I'm kind of thinking the WWE brass are telling him to do that just so he could stop getting so over because he's kind of ruining their deal. Maybe they don't want him to they don't want to push him. They're like, dude, you gotta get them to back off. Talk shit to them.
I'm not saying he's on like Brian Danielson's level, but I remember wasn't there like a thing similar like Danielson was getting crazy over?
Well, yeah, because of yes, that became like a big giant thing.
Yeah, he just was really over for a stretch, and they didn't want to push him either. They wanted the old guards to, Orton, Batista, whoever, to be the guys. But, eventually they had to kind of give in because, But anyways, maybe it's not the same situation here, but I don't know. I like LA Knight, and I think he's a great personality. Maybe test it out, I would say. Maybe not right away where he's the main man, but, slowly develop it. But, they had him losing every match for a while on SmackDown. I mean, that's going the opposite way completely. I mean, I didn't understand that at all. This guy shouldn't be losing like that. Like,
Yeah,
I understand
well,
they have a mid card, but come on.
I don't know. I mean, I think they're going to give him a little bit of a chance to show what he's got, but I think a lot of people could possibly be enamored with him just because he's a little bit of a throwback to the era that we used to watch. He seems like that type of guy. Like he would fit in, slip him into 98, and he would be right there, which is a good thing.
That's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
The better workers. Those are considered.
But is it just because he's a guy that seems like it could fit into 1998? Does that mean he's a top star? Well, I don't
know if he's a top star. I think that's to be decided, and it's also it's also depending on how he's booked and what they do with him. It's not all dependent on him, but I think as far as everything that he's done, I believe he can do it. It's just will they give him the material and the opportunity to do it is the question.